So it's not gonna take me long to explain what I want to talk about in this situation. I think people, what I'm starting to realize is instead of people actually watching boxing, they just repeat whatever everybody else say. And I'm gonna prove it in this live. I'm not gonna be live long, but I'm gonna prove it in this live right here. And I made this picture weeks ago. I was gonna throw it away because I thought Canelo was gonna get a KO, but he didn't. But as y'all, a picture says 1,000 words. See, I ain't really gotta say much right now. I don't have to say nothing at all. This is gonna say everything I need to say. So first off, I keep hearing it's a hype train going on where people are saying that Teofimo Lopez can beat certain fighters right now. Two things going on. People talking about knockouts, and if a guy don't get a knockout, that's a bad thing. That's the wrong conversation to have if you're looking at this picture right now. Then they said Shakur, he ain't got no power. He don't knock nobody out. As you see on this poster, that's the wrong thing to talk about. Those are the first two things. Guys bringing up knockouts. I think that's just amateur when people bring stuff like that up. Because recently, people said guys who just get knockouts, oh, they can't box that well. Now it's the opposite way now. Nah. But then we're talking about Teofimo versus Terence Crawford doing what? Boxing? Are we serious? Are we just gonna forget about the Kambosos fight that he had? Nobody gave Kambosos a chance. They still talking about Kambosos right now like he ain't got a win over Teofimo Lopez. That's the crazy part. He got a win over Teofimo Lopez right now. That is insane to me. And people really talking in boxing like, man, yeah. The two things I don't like hearing, people talking about Teofimo versus Terence Crawford. Are we serious? Teofimo has one knockout since 2020. Are we serious? What is he going to do with Terence Crawford? Go 12 rounds with him? And earlier this year, we had people talking about, after I guess he got 20 fights now, after about 20 fights, they're talking about, can he cut out the ring against Jermaine Ortiz? Like, he's supposed to jump in the ring with the best fighter in the world, and he can't cut out the ring. Bro, people be having so many expectations. They make so many excuses for fighters they like. I don't never go to that extreme. I'll just say I don't know. But man, it's like if you have two bad performances and you're Teofimo Lopez, people just automatically, oh, he'll clean it up against Terence Crawford. Yeah, he can beat him. What? No, he can't. Nah. Terence Crawford ain't George Kambosos. And even if he was, he would still win. But people saying Shakur Stevenson ain't got no power? Is that still a conversation? And what's crazy is Terence Crawford at 154 right now, and Teofimo Lopez mentioning him, right? Why don't you fight Bruce Ennis? He got a belt at 47. Fight him. Because he got 6 knockouts. That's why. In the what? Since 2020. That's why. Because that's a more realistic fight to make. Because Teofimo done did business with Eddie Hearn before. That's a more realistic fight to make. Man, when this guy gonna fight somebody that he actually talking about though? People talking about call out, man. He ain't had to call out Lomachenko. We ain't gonna fight somebody that he's actually calling out. Or we just gonna use that as an excuse that everybody ducking like everybody did for Anthony Joshua recently. I said, man, I want to see that Wilder fight. Oh, he ducking, man. He don't want to fight Joshua. And y'all notice ain't nobody walked around and admitted that they've been saying that for years. No, I haven't heard anybody come out here and say, well, you know what? I was saying that Wilder was ducking Joshua all these years. They ain't gonna say it, bro. As soon as one of these guys lose, they not even gonna admit that. I'll admit that. I mean, who cares? It's boxing. Then they'll say it's just boxing, but then if dudes get a pick wrong or something, they gonna run and hide. That ain't boxing. That is not boxing. But the hype train about Teofimo, man, dudes is tripping. Dudes is really tripping. The only difference between him and his fight against Kambosos and what happened to Devin Haney, Devin Haney got knocked down a couple more times. I think 1 or 2 more times. But other than that, he got dropped twice in that Sandor Martin fight and won. And they didn't count a knockdown. So this dude has been dropped multiple times by guys who don't got knockout power. Yeah, he supposed to get in the ring with Terence Crawford. Why is this a serious conversation? Why is it really? And one thing I have noticed, the guys with the most KOs in the last 4 years, that's what they want Terence Crawford to fight. Everybody else, they gonna give them an easy pass. But get an old man the hardest test. It's not gonna be strictly facts anymore. They say, oh yeah, Canelo will knock out Terence Crawford. He couldn't knock out Charlo. And everybody thought Charlo was gonna get knocked out. Everybody. And Canelo has the same amount of knockout as Shakur Stevenson. And they say Shakur Stevenson ain't got no knockout power. And they actually say that. People actually been saying Shakur Stevenson ain't got knockout power because of the last couple of fights. But these other guys getting 50-50 fights and don't get a knockout. Oh man, everything ain't got to be a knockout. I seen people saying that recently. The same people that were just crying about Terence Crawford not knocking out Majumov. He get in there with Berlanga, same guy who don't get. Berlanga ain't got that much experience. Not the way everybody else talking. So he ain't got that much experience. He get in the ring with Canelo. Oh man, y'all expect Canelo to get a knockout every time. Man, who said that, man? Ain't nobody ever said that. That we expect Canelo to get a knockout every time. Now people just coming up with stuff. The dude had 4 knockouts. Terence Crawford ain't fought that many times in the last 4 years. He just fought for the first time since last year. So look at that. He ain't fought that much since what Sean Porter fight. And they want him to hop in the ring with the guys who got 6 and 5 KOs. And they act like they don't know what they're doing. But these other guys who got 1 knockdown in these many fights, that's who they want these other guys to hop in the ring with. And people be talking like Teofimo just gonna walk somebody down and knock him out. Who he gonna walk down? Who he gonna walk down? That Lomachenko win, man. It did a lot more for him than it did for Devin Haney. They had like that was Lomachenko's first loss. Lomachenko already had a loss. And I found something else about Lomachenko out today. I'm definitely hold on to that information. Yeah, I found something out today. I said, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But to be honest with you though, like, and then I'm telling you, Teofimo either had the best matchmaking in boxing. It ain't even close. But you can debunk all that stuff though. Because as soon as you bring up the fight with him and Kambosos, nobody cares about it, even though he got dropped. Sandor Martin dropped twice, still won the fight. Let any other fighter, let Devin Haney get dropped twice in the fight and get outboxed, had the fight, they're going to say, oh, he lost. This man got dropped twice by a guy who don't got power. Then got dropped by another guy who don't got no power like that. I'm talking about kept dropping him. Sandor Martin kind of messed his head up because after that, I think that's the fight where he said, do I still got it? I mean, dudes weren't even paying attention to this guy like that. They're like, all right, man, he fought bad. I'm treating this guy like he family at this point. Like, I'm not criticizing him at all. Ain't nobody really even saying nothing about this guy. To be honest with you, in a negative light, I'm telling you, I can point to a lot of situations where fans would give guys passes and the boxers be like, oh yeah, they giving me a pass. I'm just gonna trash these other guys then. No. You're not boxing that well. You're not finna be out here just calling guys out. You ain't boxing that well. And the fans are just going with it. Like, y'all ain't seen this dude last two performances. If you're a fan of Teofimo Lopez and you seen him fight against Jermaine Ortiz and Steve Claggett, and you're telling me that he gonna wash the top fighters in boxing with one knockout in 4 years, nah. You ain't been watching the boxing I've been watching. Nah, definitely haven't. This guy ain't been fighting no world champions like that. Yeah, Josh Taylor recently. Josh Taylor, look, let me tell you. Josh Taylor got put on a pound for pound for Regis Prograis. When Devin Haney beat Regis Prograis, they wasn't trying to give credit like that. They're like, oh, Regis Prograis, he's not in his prime no more. He an older fighter or this and this. And then they bringing up weight recently. Bringing up weight recently. Even though Josh Taylor had to drop his belts because of weight. Ain't nobody saying nothing about all that. But I'm confused by all that. The power conversation, man, I'm tired of people sitting around here talking about man, this guy gonna knock this guy out. Man, these guys ain't getting knockouts like that. If you look at all the fights Canelo got since he been in America, just look at the ones from America, since he got to America until now. Dude got like 50% KO rate. You ain't finna be knocking everybody out when you fighting top fighters. I don't know who been telling people that. When you fighting top competition, you ain't finna be knocking everybody out like that. So that should just show you right there. If he was just fighting strictly just competition from America or other places like UK and fighting guys like Cullen Smith and all these guys on the regular, he wouldn't be getting knockouts on the regular like this. Even with Teofimo getting in the ring with Jermaine Ortiz and most of these guys, these fights ain't equaling KOs. They going 12 rounds, 10 rounds. And that's about it. These guys better start getting there with real competition before they get left behind. See, now what's going on right now is, and I be trying to tell people, guys ain't really putting in, they ain't fighting the right competition and not challenging themselves. You're not finna jump in there with one of the best fighters, a guy like Tank, and just go to the next level. And that's what everybody, the fans, are saying. Like, well, this guy, he's a champion, so if he get in the ring, he gonna get washed if he ain't the right style. He gonna get washed. And I told everybody early this year. That's why I should have stuck with my pick. But I told everybody early this year, fighting the MMA fighter ain't finna get you ready for nobody. And they did it. Both of the guys who fought the MMA guy lost after that. And I was looking crazy when I said it at first, but I don't look crazy now. Fighting the MMA guy is not finna prepare you for no fight. These guys are too good now. Yeah, man, way too good now. But I don't know. I think people just want to call out the popular names because there's better guys out there than what these people y'all talking about. Teofimo's not the best available guy out here to fight a Terence Crawford or any of these guys. They got to get better right now. Like, people they forgetting about that. Like, his last couple of fights been bad. If he don't change some stuff up soon, he might be retired soon with a belt in his hand right now. Because we already know he's supposed to lose that belt a couple times. It's not a good sign when the company you fight for, they sign a guy who you beat right after you fought him. I mean, that guy was putting in work. He fought you so good, he got a job out of your fight. That's not good. Yeah, it's not gonna be good, man. They gonna try to make this happen. Yeah, that fight gonna happen. I already know that. But yeah, it's not a good sign when most of these guys hop in the ring with certain fighters at a certain age. Right now, Teofimo the same age as Daniel Dubois. Right now, he the same age as Daniel Dubois. Dude, 27 years old. If y'all think Josh Taylor and Lomachenko is good enough for somebody's resume right now, then okay. He can go ahead and retire then. Go to the Hall of Fame. That's not enough on your resume. And I'm saying this for him because people forgetting the last couple of fights he's been in. I kind of feel sorry for him because I'm like, dude, they setting you up to get demolished. You need to do some adjustments for that Cambosis fight. They are really not trying to help you right now. They gonna send this man out there to get stopped, man. Badly. Like, the man's going 12 rounds and contemplating whether he's still got it or not. 10 rounds. So imagine when he goes and gets stopped, then what he gonna think? And that's what the fans don't realize. A lot of these guys, they're not really thinking about it, but man, they'll go out there and get stopped, man. For the first time. Not like Ron did, taking a knee. I'm talking about really stop. And do these guys got the mental capacity to bounce back? Because everybody's not going to be undefeated these next couple of years. That's one thing I do know. Everybody's not going to be undefeated. But when you get on this situation, look like I don't want to say any boxers' names, but a lot of guys be taking back-to-back losses after taking hard fights, or they wait too late, or they don't train hard enough, or they got personal stuff going on, and they lose, and then they lose. And you know the fighter good, but he keep losing. 4 losses in a row. Still a good fighter. Probably can fight main event still, but a lot of people can get caught in that category. It's gonna be a bad category to be in. That's why I notice a lot of people know Shakur Stevenson better than what they say and the credit they give him. They know he's better. Yeah, he's better than what they say. They say the boring stuff and everything, but they don't say anything about him being trash. Then I heard people saying save him. Oh, well, Tank just saving him for the end, for the last fight. That means you know he one of the best fighters then, saving him for the last fight. I'm like, these dudes really just said he's saving him for the last fight. Then they'll say how the fight boring. They don't want to see it, but they want to see it. Man, y'all know that dude got power. Look at the knockouts. He got the same amount of knockouts Canelo got. They know the man got knockouts. He got the same amount of KOs Canelo got since 2020. And what they say about Canelo, he'll knock out this person, that person. I seen something else too. If you just count all the U.S. fights, Shakur and Canelo got the same knockout percentage. Now, if you count the fights from Mexico all together, it's going to be higher. But I'm just putting that out there because I done looked at everything already. And the knockout percentage is pretty high with the Mexico fights. But without it, all the fights he's made since he came over here, he's like 50% knockout. %50. Then the top guys he goes against over here, like Charlo, Jacobs, 12 rounds. He did knock down what's his name? He did stop Caleb Plant, but that was it. Kovalev, not from here. So he's not really dominating over here like that yet. That's what people don't understand. He's not really dominating. I'm talking about to the point where you just wipe out a whole promotional team. Like Terence Crawford doing, just fighting everybody at PBC. It's to the point now where people were just like, I just want to see Terence Crawford fight Boots. That's it. They was saying Tim Tszyu. They stopped saying that, but they was like, yeah, I just want to see Terence Crawford fight Boots Anderson. That's it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's it? Okay. We ain't got no talent out here then. They say Terence Crawford ain't no good, but the only guy they got for him is Boots. I'm like, bet, okay. That's a compliment. Then the other guys they gotta bring up is Benavidez and well, they didn't bring up Canelo. I think when Crawford started saying stuff about it, they was asking him about it, but that's when a lot of people started to think about it. But a lot of people still think that's far-fetched. Like, man, Crawford, he can't handle Canelo. Man, I heard people say that about Floyd, how he was too small. And then what's crazy is, like, when it comes down to Canelo, I heard people saying today he's a small 168. Man, I ain't never heard them say that about nobody else. Oh, this guy's a small at this weight class. He shouldn't fight this guy because he's small. I ain't never heard that before. Never. Never, with a capital N. Never I heard them say that before. They try to make Floyd go up and fight Triple G. I ain't hear nobody talking about no size. I don't know why Canelo and Pacquiao ain't happen. That's something I really gotta figure out. Maybe it was a situation with Bob and Oscar, but I don't know. I thought they was talking around that time. That would have been a good fight to me. But the Teofimo Fest, man, it's getting out of hand now, man. It really is. It really is. Dude need to dominate the division first, man. He really does. Like the Lomachenko fight was big, but once you lose the Kambosos and you don't get the rematch, this dude dropped you and everything, you don't go back and get the rematch. Come on, man. Like, what are we supposed to do with that? Then Lomachenko comes right behind you and stops Kambosos. And this is supposed to be an older Lomachenko, everybody said. And he comes back and stops him. That's the crazy part. I mean, a lot of people overlooked that fight, so I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm definitely not surprised. But yeah, a lot of these guys, they don't run rematches back or nothing. And people are like, yeah, he'll stop the number one pound for pound guy. How? Man, I just want to see Teofimo get in the ring and actually fight a top name. These names he's been fighting recently, they've been top 10 guys, but that was Jermaine Ortiz's first fight at 140, I think. Even though you both moved up from 135. I mean, you calling out 147 now. So the power supposed to move up. The way I look at it, the power supposed to move up. That's all I see. Power gotta move up. But one knockout in 4 years? Nah, man. Nah, this gotta be a popularity contest or something. Ain't no way a guy with one knockout is talked about it being a huge threat from Terence Crawford. Ain't no way. There's no way. I mean, the Kambosos loss is just being pushed out of history so quickly. Or people wasn't fans back then, maybe. Or they didn't see the fight. Because it wasn't on pay-per-view. Yeah, man, that kind of trips me out how people look at those. What's up, Cyber? But if you look at the real knockouts right now, there are certain boxers who actually got real power against real elite fighters, and there's other guys who can't even knock out just the top 10 guys, not the top 5, top 3, number 1, or champions. Just talking about the regular guys who are very good fighters. Now, Boots Ennis, he's fighting the guys that you would consider. Oh, I'm just talking about Teofimo. Everybody saying Teofimo's basically a fighter that could stop a lot of the top fighters right now. And I'm just trying to figure out how. And I'm also talking about how Shakur Stevenson and Canelo got the same amount of knockouts since 2020. But I'm just trying to figure out because knockouts, I don't really put too much power in the knockouts. Like, I don't really think about all that. When people was talking about Steve Claggett ain't got knockouts, I was kind of disagreeing with all that. I didn't really think that was a big deal. I thought he would still be able to go, what was it, 12 rounds with Teofimo Lopez? And he went 12 rounds. So knockouts don't really mean that much to me. But when fans use knockouts as to say if a guy's good or not. So I'm just using their own theory against them. So I won't look like I'm oh no, before he moved up. Hey, before he moved up, he wasn't knocking nothing out. He couldn't drop Kambosos or nothing. The Kambosos lost. And I like Teofimo, but I feel like at this point right now, if I don't say anything, I'm just playing favorites. Because he ain't really knocking nothing out like that, bro. Like, to be real. To be real. If you just look at the competition he's fighting, I think Oscar Valdez will go in the ring right now and give Kambosos a hard fight. So, that Kambosos loss was a big deal to me. Just because he didn't want to get any get back. He hasn't gotten better since that fight. When he got dropped twice by Sandor Martin, he ain't been throwing that jab lately. Teofimo's not going to be able to get a knockout without the jab. And I try to explain that to people, but they'll just say, oh, he going to knock so-and-so out. I'm okay, man. Well, let me just show you this then. He hasn't been knocking anybody out lately. Yeah, he could have 3 losses easily. Yeah, I know that he fights guys. Like, now Teofimo goes out there and fights people. He don't fight the top guys that we say, you know, the Tanks, but Tank ain't fighting nobody either right now. He ain't fighting Teofimo level type of guys right now. He fighting champions, but he ain't fighting the Teofimo type right now. But he's fighting tough fights still. Teofimo fought Lomachenko, gave him a hard fight, beat him. The Jermaine Ortiz fight was still close. I thought Teofimo, I don't know, I kind of gave it to him. I think I gave him that fight, even though a lot of people thought he lost. I think I gave it to him a little bit. But he wasn't cutting the ring off, though. I don't like when people, like the dude's 27 right now. I think he turned 27 recently, so he was 26. I feel like fans be bullying low-key because they'll sit up here and say, at 26 years old, oh, Teofimo can't cut the ring off. Bro, that's not a good thing that you're just saying that, and this guy's 26. That means you just been looking at his knockouts the whole time. Dude 26 ain't cutting off the ring that well. And the reason being is because Sandor Martin kind of messed his head up with that jab. If he fought Sandor Martin right now again, which he could, because I think Sandor Martin is up for another belt, trying to fight for a belt or something like that right now. If he fought Sandor Martin right now, I'm going with Sandor Martin. And that would be a good fight. He can easily have 2 rematches right now with Kambosos or Sandor Martin. Those were good fights. Some of his best fights, too. He fought hard in both fights. After he got knocked down, he fought better in the Kambosos fight, and he fought better against Sandor Martin. I don't know how he got, but it was a good fight. But he's not going to be able to get any knockouts till he starts jabbing again. That's just period. And I think Canelo, the reason why he's not getting knockouts like he used to is because he's not fighting that much. They're fighting two times a year. That's starting to catch up on him. Starting to catch up to him. I think he's naturally a guy who can fight more. He can fight, naturally Canelo can fight 4 times a year. Probably 5 if he wanted to. He don't got to fight top guys. He can fight 2 top guys and 3 regular guys. Yeah, 140 still stacked. I'm gonna try to see what everybody's doing. That's why I'm not trying getting too high on somebody right now. It's gonna be a couple of guys that might take some losses, especially if they move up to 140. 140 still stacked. It's still stacked. It's gonna be a stacked division for a while because most of those guys at 135 is moving up to 140. So it's gonna stay stacked for a while. But when guys start to move up to 147, that's when it's gonna get tricky. That's why I'm trying to see what Teofimo Lopez is gonna do. He got 2 fights, man, coming up. Hey, I know he's gonna fight twice next year. If he don't fight tough within the next 2 years, he might be looking at early retirement. Because he got too many fighters that's gonna be around him. Sandor Martin ain't going nowhere. I'm pretty sure Barbosa's still gonna be around. Jose Ramirez, those 2 fighting. You got Sabril Matias still around. You still got Jermaine Ortiz around. Still got Pitbull. Too many guys. Yeah, Spence gonna come back. They just keep pushing the fight back. PBC ain't scheduling these fights right, man. They keep pushing everything back. Everybody trying to put fights together at the same time. I think a lot of them made mistakes. They should have put more fights together in October instead of trying to stuff all the fights in November and December. It's gonna be a lot of fights on Friday and Saturday and stuff like that. They don't got that many October fights. I mean, yeah, they do. Hold on, I'll take that back. They got Tim Tszyu, Bitterbeard. Yeah, they got a lot of October fights. I forgot. But it seems like it's way more fights in November. And I don't know who I got in that fight, man. I think, to be honest with you, I'm thinking of rolling with Spence in that fight, to be honest with you. That might sound crazy, but kind of leaning towards that direction. I like Fandora, too. I picked Fandora against Tim Tszyu. But I think Spence could step to this guy. I think he really could. It's going to be a good fight, though. I know a lot of fans excited about it. Yeah, Spence, man, he a big name in boxing still. Every time his news comes out, it's pretty serious. Yeah, I got a lot of respect for Spence. Spence don't take no easy fights. Every time he come back, it's a huge test. He been out a year, and he coming back fighting Fandora. Everybody got to start moving like him, man. You got Fandora. I might change my pick, so I might be over there. I got to see what's going on. Yeah, I got to see how he look first. It was only one bad loss. Let me tell you why I don't put too much stock in it, though. I'm going to tell you why. Sorry about why I really don't trip about it. I thought that Fandora was going to lose to Mendoza. So I wasn't surprised that he lost. But I think a couple of days before he fought Tim Tszyu, bro, because I like Tim Tszyu. He like one of my favorite fighters. But I had to pick against Tim Tszyu. I just knew. I said, man, Fandora going there jabbing the whole fight, he going to win. And that was the first time he did it. But that's the only reason I picked Fandora. I don't know if the jab alone is just going to be able to get Spence like that. I just don't. I think Terence Crawford just that good to make Spence look that bad. And I just seen Fandora get hurt bad too, though. You know what I'm saying? When Fandora got hurt against Mendoza, that was a bad knockout, man. Dude couldn't even get up. He was just sitting on his butt. I never seen nobody that happen to somebody. He was just sitting there just like, I can't get up, shaking his head. I was like, whoa. I was like, he can't even get up, bro. He couldn't even try to get up. I think he'll be able to bounce back. It was just one bad loss, but the way it just looked, it was so bad. Terence Crawford was just that ready, man. I'm telling you. People was talking a lot of trash. See, Terence Crawford ain't used to being an underdog like that. So for him to be the underdog in that fight, people just saw a whole different side of him. A whole different side. Cause all the way up until the fight, he was giggling the whole time. He wasn't really mean or something. But as soon as that fight week come and he do that weigh in, dude just turned into a different animal, man. That's why I'm saying about this Canelo situation. I'm like, bro, people gotta understand. Still got like 10, 11 knockouts in his last, 12 fights, something like that. There ain't nobody out here doing that right now against top competition. This dude beat up Spence worse than he did these other guys who people said he fought bombs. I just feel like Terence Crawford right now is a way bigger challenge than what people realize. And then the thing about it is, not a lot of people calling him out. It's only the Teofimo thing. I'm not taking that serious, but I hear Boots saying some. Who else? It was somebody else I was just thinking about. Forgot already. But yeah, it's a couple of guys that'll fight him. Virgil Ortiz, I think he'll do something, but I don't think he's ready right now. Virgil Ortiz been out like 2 years. He rusty, man. You know what I'm saying? This not the best he gonna be. He gonna get better. He been out for a while though. He's still taking tough fights. I mean, this boxing. I think him and Tim Tszyu straight. Them taking a loss ain't really gonna change nothing for me. But I think Spence can be able to bounce back. I really think he can. Sometimes losses are better for guys. I'm telling you, when Fendora losing actually helped him out. He was trying to box with everybody. You remember before Fendora lost? Man, he was boxing everybody. I'm talking about brawling. He was brawling with Lubin. That Lubin fight was good. That's when I realized then. I was like, man, this dude is a dog, man. That dude in there with Lubin Lubin dropped him, he got up, went back to work. Yeah, I know, bro. Madramal fighting Boychuk too. Yeah, man, that Karen fight again. I don't know, bro. It just put pressure on him because if he go 12 rounds again with this guy. But I think Karen gonna come to fight just because it's for a belt. You know what I'm saying? This guy, let's be real, he might not have another chance at fighting for a belt. So, unless somebody want to make a name for themselves after fighting, like trying to compare their fight to Boots, but that's the only way Karen will probably get some fights. But as far as a fight of this magnitude against this kind of opponent, probably the best it's gonna get for him. So he gotta come to fight. Yeah, that KO made him a jabber. Ain't that crazy? I had forgot about that till talking to you just now. I forgot that KO made him a jabber. And you know what's crazy? 2 days before the fight, I was like, man, I think he gonna go out there jabbing. I don't know why I thought about that. Somebody had said it. I think they were like, if he goes out there jabbing. Yeah, I got Madramal, dog. I'm definitely rolling with Madramal in that fight. You think stoppage? You think Madramal can stop him? That was Madramal's first pro loss? Yeah, I think Madramal can stop him. After fighting Terence Crawford, man, bruh, it might be an easy fight for Madramal. I ain't even trying to exaggerate. That might be an easy fight for Terence Crawford after he fought, Madramal. After fighting Terence Crawford. See, everybody should have got Madramal before he fought Terence Crawford. Now that he learned some stuff fighting Terence Crawford this early in his career, yeah, he good. He gonna be a hard fight. He definitely gonna be a hard fight. I gotta figure out who I see challenging Madramal right now. I'm trying to, I don't know, man. Right now I can see Tim Tszyu giving him a good fight. I think Charles Conwell can give him a good fight. That's all I'm gonna say right now. Cause that style tricky. But those two guys, I think, just because of the way they punch, you gotta be a special puncher to go in there with Madramal. Yeah. But yeah, Adams, I seen that fight, but he was winning that fight though. Bochek was winning that fight before he got dropped. It's kind of like the same thing that happened to Fedor drop. They both got dropped the same way. Bochek is too. Yeah, but he's still straight up. I agree with you saying he's too basic for that kind of style that Majamal bringing. Yeah, you think so? Majamal, Tim Tszyu? I'm trying to think of some other guys that I feel like that's better. Cause I kind of like everybody in the weight class equally. I like Charles Conwell though. I do like him as a sleeper. But I got Majamal and Tim Tszyu right now. Those are two guys I'm actually rolling with as the best at 154. That weight class is stacked, man. It's gonna get crazy in a minute. Next year, guys move. I don't know when they're gonna move to 160, but when that happens, boxing gonna get a little more interesting. I think Turkey Al-Sheikh gonna do some big fights at 54. Well, he's doing it now. He's doing the big fights at 54 now. That's why I had to realize looking at his stats last night. I'm like, whoa, Benavidez got 5 knockouts or less. So if he would have stopped Caleb Plant, that would have been 6. He almost stopped him too. Man, hey, I'm gonna go back. I'm glad you said that, Sideball. I'm gonna go back and look because that dude Bakaram is a big dude, man. That dude is huge. That dude's big, man. That's a big dude. I had to look at it. That dude's a big dude. That dude's a very big dude. I think he's like 6'1" or something like that. I was looking at his fights. I'm like, hold on, man. This guy looks. Yeah, this dude's 6 foot. What is his reach? And they ain't got a reach on here. They usually have guys' reaches on here. This dude is pretty big. Oh, he got 72 arm reach. Okay, yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah, he's 6 foot. He said, "My mom." I mean, Bitterbeard. That's funny. He does look like Bitterbeard. That's the funny part about it. He look like Bitterbeard. Yeah, he got a nice jab though. It's pretty strong. Kind of fight like Kovalev a little bit. It kind of reminds me of Kovalev a little bit, but yeah, he got some talent, man. He is a beast at 154. It's gonna be a closer fight than I thought. I had Tim Tszyu as a stoppage, but I gotta go back and look one more time. This dude's pretty big. They might have his height messed up a little bit. He might be 6'1". If Charlo's 6'1", this guy gotta be close to be 6'1". I think Charlo like 6 foot though. Somebody's 6'1", around that height. This guy's tall. But that's gonna be a good fight though. And that's a week after yeah, that dude Rafael Espinoza, he's 6'1". So yeah, this guy gotta be 6'1". And he's at featherweight, 126. I think it's gonna be a good fight though. Tim Tszyu is not taking no easy fights though. This is a hard fight. It's for a belt now. But this is a hard fight. It could possibly be fight of the year. I'm gonna make a hard guess, and I'm gonna say that one of those fights between Bitterbill, the Bitterbill or Bibble fight, or the Bakaram and Tim Tszyu fight, that might be the fight of the year. One of those fights. I'm gonna go ahead and take a guess right now. Let's say one of those fights will be. Yeah, I got Bitterbill. I had Bibble, but Bitterbill, he got a jab. His jab mean. People don't talk about his jab, but he really get his jab because of his knockout. I mean, he get knockouts because of his jab, so I'm going with him. His jab is official. I got Bitterbill. I think Bibble's good, but I seen Bitterbill get way too many knockouts from just jabbing guys. Yeah, he got a sludge hammer. And it's accurate, and he don't throw it that much. He start throwing that jab, guys be running around the ring. I'm like, whoa. And he got a chin too, he don't really get hurt. And I don't think Bibble has enough power to keep him away. And he's not gonna sit there and exchange with him, that's dangerous. But I said, he can get outboxed, you know, he's human. But just to do it for 12 rounds without, I don't see it. If Bibble does this though, it'll be the biggest win. Man, of the year, probably. Yeah, of the year. Yeah. Yeah, this is a guy who has a 100% knockout rate. Stopped a lot of guys. Good talent too. He got a good resume. So yeah, this will definitely be the win of the year. I think a lot of people got Bibble as the favorite, but I think they got more so to do with the Canelo situation. I think before he because many people didn't say Bibble was gonna lose, that Bitterbill would beat that Bibble would beat Bitterbill before the Canelo fight. But now a lot of people more in on him. I mean, it's cool, but he got to be able to stop this guy too, at least from coming forward. And this guy don't fight on the back foot like that. Both of these guys are aggressive fighters. But, you know, it's a very good fight, man. But these fights coming up, these next couple of weeks, gonna be some tough fights coming on. But November's gonna be loaded though. They got these guys on Top Rank a lot more active now. You got Xander Zayas fighting tomorrow. That's another guy at 154. I think Xander Zayas is gonna move up a lot faster than guys realize. They think that he's a little too young right now. I mean, he doesn't look perfect in every fight, but I think he's ready to go. I think he's definitely ready to go. Yeah, Xander Zayas has been calling out some names. And I don't think he's trying to fight some people. I think he wants to fight real competition. Cause I know he's wanting to fight. Who was that guy he wanted to fight? I think it was the guy who fought Laura. I can't think of his name right now. I just had a name in my mind. Just gonna say his name earlier. Not Laura, but Pandora. But it's gonna be some good fights on tomorrow. A lot of people think Xander Zayas gonna get upset tomorrow. That's crazy. They got him losing tomorrow. I think he gonna win. It's gonna be a tough fight though. Yeah, Xander Zayas 22. He just turned 22. Got a lot of fighters' birthdays in September. Yeah, that's crazy. Damian Sosa. Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight, man. Let me see the weight class. They got him ranked 14th right now. I don't know, man. Xander Zayas right there. They need to go ahead and throw him in the ring with Josh Kelly. I gotta go back and watch that fight too. They got Nikita Zoo coming up. That'll be a good fight, man. I don't know if both of those guys ready yet. Yeah, Nikita Zoo, he only got 10 fights. This Cullen Wash guy. Oh, Cullen Wash around the same age as Xander Zayas. That'll be a good fight. Oh yeah, Benavidez got a nasty jab. Benavidez jab, super underrated. Matter of fact, realist, I'm glad you said that. I got a jab. I got a list of jabs on my phone. I got a list of people who got the best jabs. There you go. I got my top 10 list of jabs. Is this my top 10 list? I don't know if this is in order. I got Crawford, Stevenson, Usyk, Inoue. I got Haney, I got Tank, I got Fury. I got Bitterbill, I got Benavidez, and I got Plant. That's my top 10 jabs. But yeah, I had to put Benavidez on there. I don't know. We were just talking about that. Tim Tszyu versus Majramov. I don't know. I like Tim Tszyu better. But I think Majramov a little better right now. Just because of his, how would I say it? I think his defense is a little better. I'll say that. I think him and Tim Tszyu is like right there though. It's almost like what kind of day it is, but I think Majramov just got a little bit more experience. His defense is a little better. I think Tim Tszyu a better puncher though. Tim Tszyu a way better puncher. But Majramov, he a little better, footwork a little better. And yeah, his defense a little better. Might be a harder puncher too, I don't know. To be honest with you. I think Majramov might be a harder puncher. I think Tim Tszyu a better puncher though. I seen him throw some stuff that was really impressive. But yeah, I got Majramov in the fight though. What you got in that fight, Majramov? I think I definitely gotta go with Majramov in that fight. Tim Tszyu underrated still though. He got a tough fight coming up. After Tim Tszyu fight next year, he gonna have a deep resume. His resume gonna be crazy. He gonna have a lot of names on there. After he fight this Baccarat guy for a belt, all he gotta do is fight somebody like Crawford. He gonna have some names on there. Yeah, I think he definitely would have had a good fight with Boots Ennis if they would have fought though. I thought that fight was gonna happen. But when Boots went to the zone, I was like, yeah, it's over with. That fight ain't gonna happen. That fight is not gonna happen. A lot of people talking about Morrell and Benavidez right now. I mean, they gonna fight. They were supposed to fight last year. They definitely gonna fight. But let Benavidez get the old man bitter bill first. If he can get that fight and get bitter bill, if he win. Or Bibble, that'll be even better. Fight a guy who beat the Canelo. That'd be a good storyline to run. But let him get the old man, then he get Morrell. Yeah, I know that jab gone, ain't it? That jab gone. That jab gone, man. That jab is absolutely gone. I think the thing about Munguia, when he with Eric, he be letting them hands go. And he be accurate. He be letting them hands go. I think in the Canelo fight, he felt like he was a little too careful. He felt like he was a little too careful in that Canelo fight. He want to fight like he did against Derevyanchenko. But either way, he got to realize, though, Canelo was jabbing the crap out of him. Man, when Canelo started jabbing Munguia, I was like, it's over. It's over. I don't think whatever Munguia could have did that night, once Canelo started jabbing, man, it was over with. Canelo jabbed Munguia more than he did Berlanga. Canelo pulled out that jab quick. Because Munguia was jabbing the crap out of him early then. Around the 6th, 7th round, Canelo started throwing that jab. I was like, yeah, he gonna end up winning this fight. He definitely gonna win. I think he should have stayed with Freddie about 2 more fights. At least. Because that jab is nowhere near what it was before. But that guy, Bazian, he was fighting, that guy's pretty good, man. That guy he was fighting is pretty good. He had a very good jab, too. I don't think Munguia couldn't do nothing with that jab. That guy's pretty good. That guy is pretty good. I can't believe he stopped him, to be honest with you. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to keep Teofimo from doing, man. If Teofimo keep going in that direction, he gonna end up being one-dimensional because Teofimo, he's really a boxer, but now he's like becoming more of a come-forward guy, like Isaac Cruz is, and that ain't how he box. If he don't get out of that style quick, see, he need to go to a guy like Freddie probably. Oh, yeah, he gets slept. He getting stopped. He getting stopped. A lot of these guys get stopped by Crawford. A lot of these guys definitely get stopped by Crawford. A lot of these guys get stopped by Madrimov. That's why Terence Crawford fighting Madrimov is going to do wonders for boxing. Because it kind of gave him a lot more promotion. If Terence Crawford wouldn't have fight Madrimov, a lot of guys would have been giving excuses right now. I don't want to fight him. He only got 11 fights. Now that Terence Crawford kind of gave him that shine, now it's going to put pressure on guys. And that's another person who can come in and do damage. Now, I know that's a tough fight for Boots. That's a tough fight for Boots. Not saying that just because he fought Madrimov fight Crawford. I think he probably one of the best guys out of that group. before he even fought Crawford. I don't think I picked Crawford to knock out Majumov. If I did, it was like a big if. I think he's a lot better than people realize. If you look at his amateur resume, he's legit. It's the reason why they was comparing him to Triple G. He don't fight like him to me, but I still think he got talent like that though. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was thinking that too. I think if Tim Tszyu fight Fandora again, he'll win. Me personally. I think if he fight Fandora again, he'll win. Him changing them, people got to realize Fandora was like almost like a late replacement. He found out at the last minute that Keith Thurman wasn't gonna fight. He tried to bring some tall guys in and spar with him. It helped a little bit. Well, it helped a lot, but it was only like a week and a half to prepare. So, and it ended up being a good fight too. That's the crazy part. PBC, they late replacements be their best fights. So I'm kind of still happy that the fight went well. I thought it was gonna be a bad opponent. I thought about the matchup for a couple of days. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a classic. Yeah, I gotta see more of these guys get active too. I hope PBC had these guys fighting a lot more, especially like Ramos Jr. I keep forgetting the other guy name. I'm being rude, but Ortiz, all these guys. I hope they fight a little bit more. They need to be in the gym. Oh, Erickson Lubin, my bad. I keep forgetting today. Yeah, Erickson Lubin. A lot of these guys still in the picture. They got a lot of people out here. Yeah, I don't think Charlo gonna hang around. I think Charlo gonna end up going to 160. I think he's going. Yeah, that's all he was doing. Never use his reach. Man. That dude. I know Tim Tszyu was like, this dude out here jabbing. And I'm bleeding. This dude throwing a jab now. Yeah, that was crazy because everybody said this dude need to use his reach. As soon as he uses his reach, he'll be unstoppable. Tim Tszyu caught him on the worst night. That was crazy. That was the best Fandora I ever seen. Dude boxed the whole fight. His nose was bleeding. I was like, oh, it's over with. But nah, he a dog though. Fandora, he gotta get credit for that. He was bleeding a lot before Tim Tszyu started bleeding. And Tim Tszyu busted that nose early. Boom. Man, that was a good fight. I feel like both of them won that night. I ain't gonna lie. That was a good fight. Yeah, PBC started out right. I don't think the Keith Thurman could put on a performance like that. He better get in the ring quick though. I don't know what Keith Thurman doing, but he better find him a fight quick. If he's still fighting at 54, he could fight who Keith Thurman could fight? I don't think he'll fight Ramos Jr. I don't know. That's tough. Man, they might throw him in there with Brian Mendoza. They'll throw him in there with Brian Mendoza or somebody. Yeah, that was crazy. Fandora changed his whole style up for one fight. I'm like, man, this dude is A genius. It's crazy because I think he could fight at 47 if he wanted to. That dude is different. He come from a boxing family. Just like Daniel Dubois. A lot of these guys come from a boxing family background. They're starting to show a lot too. You know what's crazy? That might be fight of the year though. I'm still thinking of what fights are. What was the best fight of the year earlier? I forgot about that fight. That might be the best fight of the year right there. Between that, Usyk. I still like that Ray Ford fight. That was a good fight. Yeah, I just found out that dude's 6'1", man. Dude is 6'1". I seen Espinosa's resume last year, dog. I'm gonna tell you. You know what's crazy? I seen Espinosa's resume last year. I was looking at it. Then I'm looking at him box. I'm like, he ain't fought nobody like that. But man, this dude can jab. This dude look amazing, man. I'm saying, I kept saying that. I was like, I think this guy gonna win. The last minute I picked Ramirez. I was like, nah, Ramirez ain't gonna go out here and lose. Ramirez go out there and drop him. Almost stopped him and ended up getting whooped. Espinosa beat up Ramirez on a broken, I think he had like a broken ankle or something like that. Hey, if he move up, he been at 126 for a minute. They not gonna make Inoue versus Espinosa. That's not gonna happen. I do not think Inoue gonna fight Espinosa. They gonna stay away from that fight. They gonna stay away from that fight. I heard recently, man, boxing messing up the game right now. Inoue wanted to go to 126. Now they talking about him staying at 122 for 2 or 3 more fights. I'm like, bro, y'all messing up the boxing game, man. Why would y'all have this man come to Shushu fight? I hope they just saying that for promotion. He said natural weight classes. What do you think Espinosa at? He 126 right now. He probably walk around 145. 145. Man, I think, shoot, the way I seen Fundora, man, Fundora probably walk around like 160, 155, 160. It was funny because Tim Tszyu saw that man eating pizza before they fought. This dude said, this dude eating pizza before we fight? That was hilarious. Tim Tszyu said, why is this man eating pizza? And we got a fight coming up. He said, you gonna be ready? Fedora said, don't worry about me. I'm like, I said, if this dude wins this fight, yeah, he weighed in at 152. He probably had all his clothes on. Yeah, Fandora's an animal, man. Yeah, he'll fight. I don't know, man. That Mendoza, if Spence can go in there and do what Mendoza did, he'll be all right. But this guy's jabbing now. It's gonna be a tough fight. It's gonna be a real good fight between him and Spence. I don't know who gonna win that fight though. Yeah, I really don't know who's gonna win that fight. I think Espinoza might move to 130 soon though. I think 130 gonna be his weight class. It seemed like they said he didn't want to stay at that weight class a long time. He been there what, forever, his whole career, I think. He just turned 30, so he might be moving up soon. That's the kind of fight I want to see anyway. And I wanted to see that fight. That's gonna be a tough fight. Let me see if they got this fight with him and Ramirez up already. They don't even got the fight up already between him and Ramirez. With their rematch coming up. I forgot what the date was. Espinoza versus Navarrete. That'll be a good fight. That'll be a good fight, man. They might actually do that for the rematch. When is they trying to order it? I don't know when they're gonna put that fight together. Yeah, they might do it because Navarrete and Valdez fighting in December. If they fight in December, that means Ramirez and Espinoza might fight in January. They're gonna fight either January. I don't think they'll fight in December. What month is it? They could fight in December, but they would have already announced it. I think they're gonna fight in January. It's gonna be a good fight too. Yeah, they fight in January. That'll be a good fight. I don't know, man. I think I might have to go with Espinoza in that next one. Even though Ramirez looked good in that last fight. He looked good in his last fight. Did a good job. He almost got Espinoza out of there that first fight though. That was the craziest part. I picked Espinoza first, then I went to Ramirez. I said he gonna end up beating him. He went in there, dropped him. Espinoza got up. Yeah, that was a good fight, man. Yeah. All right, bro. I'm gonna holler at you later on, man. Appreciate that for coming through. I'm gonna be on here tomorrow. They got 2 fights coming on tomorrow. Shoot Carrington and Alicia Baumgartner and all them fighting tomorrow. Xander Zayas. I'm gonna check you out tomorrow.